I wanted to make a developer commentary for a game I released about 3 months ago. The game called One to Go. So, if you don't know what One to Go is, it's a game I made about 3 months ago, and okay, this is gonna get confusing. Okay, One to Go's plot is basically that this guy, Scratch Cat, has to eat a bunch of fish in the Violet Sea. Why does Scratch Cat need to eat a lot of Violet Sea in the fish? What? Um, I'll explain later, but I want to go into the history of this game and how I kind of developed it. It's actually a pretty interesting story, so um, let's just start from the beginning, I guess. I'm not very good at intros. So, One to Go initially started out as this project. So, this is a different project, as you can see. This one has a pretty older ID. Wow, it's actually really old. And you may be wondering, what's this? When was this made? What even is this? Well, it's the first edition of One to Go, but it has a lot of different stuff. So One to Go production actually began around I know you won't believe this, but it began around late 2022. Yeah, around when my 4 year anniversary was around. I wanted to release a remake of my first ever project. Um, oh yeah, we have to explain what my first ever project was. So my first ever project was this: first and worst project with 4 exclamation points. This game is it's a pretty stupid game, you know. So basically, the plot is that ow, ow, ow. God, I just remembered how obnoxious that sound is. But basically, what you need to do is just I'm not gonna okay. Basically, just try and figure out how to get Scratch Cat to get these ones that are sporadically going around the screen. Ah! But yeah, this is a pretty bad game. But it is a pillar in '97 Scratch history, and I wanted to make a remake about for it for about yeah, around my 4 year anniversary, I think. And I did. I tried to do that, but it didn't really work out, and it died around my 4 year anniversary. Then around my 5 year anniversary, I had renewed interest in trying to make this game, and but my 5 year anniversary was kind of chaotic, and you know what? It died again. So how did it die, and what was the original plot of it? It's very interesting to say the least. So this is the first ever room. Why am I saying room? Okay, this is like the first ever edition. Scratch Cat did not look like this. He was a bit more flatter. I don't know if I can find the original design he had, but there were these original ones, which look kind of bad. But the basic thing is that, okay, I think I last updated this around 2023, maybe. But basically, it was going to have a bit of a more convoluted plot with this guy named Egg Latson. Now, if you've already played One to Go, you probably know what Egg Latson is, and sorry, I'm just checking how much time I have left. Okay, only 3 minutes have passed. Okay, so basically, Egg Latson literally just would have been okay. I'm trying to explain this, but it's a weird history. Okay, let me just say this: One to Go was really gonna have a story, and the new One to Go doesn't really have a story. It's just kind of random and abrupt. You just jump it and you have fun. But I was originally trying to make this into a more story-based game, to say the least, with levels and such. So I'm not sure how I can show that. Actually, I can because I'm looking at it right now. Okay, so this is the original One to Go, and this is a Google document I actually made with the original ideas for One to Go. Okay, I'm gonna zoom in a bit just in case you can't read it as much. Okay, this is the original One to Go. So how, as you can see, it was a lot more convoluted, which we're gonna get into now. And then I'll explain what happens to the plot a while ago. But actually, hold on. Let's look at the physical stuff first. So, yeah, I already had some of this stuff planned. The juke out, fake out. I meant fake out, juke out. What? I just meant that in the intro. There's a scene where it kind of goes like da na na, and it like switches and it's different. Oh yeah, this is the original title screen, which looks kind of different from the new one. I like this nether background. It's not nether. What am I saying? So One to Go, yeah, it has the basic gist of the original game, just getting the green fish and the red fish. But there was some weird stuff as well. And here's some of the weird stuff. You can see, if you, this might make sense only if you play the game. What is this? What are these types of fish? Basically, what's this? Okay. Oh, it's the original tips. So, okay. Now it's time to explain what the original plot was, which, okay, I think we can read the original description and understand what the plot is. I'm sorry if this video has been kind of incoherent so far, but I just don't really have a script and I'm just trying to explain it off my head. And I'm a pretty convoluted individual. Okay, Hi guys. Okay, blah 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 blah. Okay, I took the project. Okay, so it was really going to be a free level journey where Scratch Cat has to defeat the number ones by becoming number one. I okay. The main villain is A. Gladson, which I still can't get over the fact that's just nostalgia backwards. Trying to keep Scratch I assume I meant Scratch Cat, trying to keep Scratch Cat young. But throughout the game, Scratch learns that yes, don't let him fully take over, but keep a piece of him within your life. I mean, within throughout your life. Why do I write like this? I don't know why I keep going on this nostalgia and sentimentalism. You misspelled sentimentalism. Wait, it's not sentimentalism. What's the word? Sentimentism? I'll figure it out later. Thing in some of my projects. I guess it's because it will be half a year before I'm out of middle school. Oh wow, this was 8th grade. Half a year before I'm out of middle school and into high school, which will likely impact my blah 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 blah. This is true. Like you kind of start appreciating the past more in the older, which is kind of what the message I wanted this game to be. The Scratch Cat starts to accept that he has a past, and the past is fun, but it's kind of I don't know. I feel like it wouldn't work out, unfortunately. And you know what? Yeah, it didn't work out, which I'm kind of glad because the new one to go, it's not perfect, but it's a pretty good game. Again, just checking how much time I have left. Huh, 6 minutes. Okay. So anyway, now we can start getting into what the original plot and story was going to be. So basically, after Scratch Cat gets abducted in the beginning, he gets like sucked into a portal. Um, whoa, whoa, whoa! He lands on mysterious purple land. Hello there. I've been expecting you, Scratchius Catius. Yeah. My name's Egg Watson. I brought you because I want you to simply. No, you're not just abducting me from my room and giving me some absurd challenge. I mean, I kind of need to. It was the only way I could get you out of there. After all, and to be fair, I do kind of apologize for the abruptness of this, but I think this is still necessary. Well, whatever. I'm not complying. You're complying. You suck. Playing hard to bargain, eh? Doesn't matter. Allies, pull the lever! Scratch falls in an even darker dimension, and the game truly begins. Okay, I think I wanted to set up A. Glatson to kind of be like like you initially think that he's kind of a villain, but by the end it's actually like, oh no, he's actually a pretty good guy. I feel like kidnapping Scratch Hat probably isn't the best way to begin this game. Again, I'm kind of glad this original idea died out, but okay. And originally there was going to be levels in this game, which was inspired by a game I like playing a lot. It's called Infect, Evolve, Repeat 2. Pay attention to the 2. It was a main inspiration for this game, meaning the skill. Okay. Well, things look pretty easy, my dear player. All I have to do is eat fish over this level and you'll succeed. Oh yeah, there's originally going to be levels. I know I mentioned 3 levels in that project, but for some reason I want to make it even longer and have 15 levels. 15 levels. 15 levels. What was I thinking? But anyway, okay, so things would get harder and new enemies would have been introduced. Okay, so the red fish are introduced, and then there's timers, and then there's health potions, and and that was just stage one. Stage one is pretty easy. Stage two, things start to escalate, and there's hooks now, and then there's an invasion of hookworms, and then uh, I don't know what I mean. Okay, I guess stage one was just introducing you to the game. Stage two is the hook phase with hookworms and the fish hooks, which are still in the game. Then stage three. All right, we came up with an idea to wait. Who is saying this? Right, I think it's the Allies or something. All right, we came up with an idea to produce. Why did I just have a stroke right there? We came up with an idea to reduce hookworms into violet sea. Simply have them predated. We've deployed 2 special types of fish, both relating to speed. One slows you down, one speeds them up. They may be helpful or harming depending on what's happening, so use them wisely. Okay, so the speed fish are all overpopulating. When in doubt, more fish. Oh my god. Oh yeah, this last fish has one ability. Multiply your points by a random factor of 2 to 5. In the new game, that does exist, but I decreased it to be less than 3, I think, because if you could just multiply your points by like 5, yeah, that might be a bit overpowered. Nothing else to say there. Okay, stage 4. This is the multimate stage. Get as many fish that you need to. Fish are breeding like crazy, and then this level was going to be a copy of like one of the levels in Invect Evolve Repeat 2, where there's a bunch of insane colors and stuff. And I've been talking so long, and my neck hurts, and oh my god. And stage 5, this is the final stage, and with the final 3 levels. Intro, Alec, Emperor, I have an important question. How much longer will Scratch Cat be in the Violet Sea? It's been like 20 minutes. Dunno. I think it'll be soon. I want to see what he's up to anyway, with all these fish in the sea. Ally opens the. What? Who is this ally? As exciting as it is, this brings me back to my old memories as a young kitty cat. I'm sorry that I'm doing these obnoxious voices. I like to I like to read with obnoxious voices if I think that something obnoxious is happening. I kind of miss that time. There was less stress. This may be stressful, but it's also kind of I gotta read slower and quieter. It's also quite cathartic. Cathartic. I can't believe I couldn't read cathartic. Now that I think of it, I never found out why I'm here. If only I could. I hope he finds the exit soon, because I really should tell him why he's here anyway. Well, if that random big shadow like Dumbo is hearing this, let me just say, you cannot bring me down. I'm unbeatable. Even if this was generally impossible, I would beat it. Right, he's challenging me. Well, maybe one less challenge wouldn't be bad. Sir, I shall comply. The levers are changed. Well then, that was abrupt. So I'm guessing that I'm sorry, I can't feel anything for these characters. There has been no setup. What the heck happened? Scratchhead, you were like a young cat and stuff. You can see why I scrapped this. Okay, level 13. The Emperor is testing you now. There's a lot less power ups in the sea, and the hookworms have steadily increased now. You're gonna have to keep on trekking on with just skill now. Okay, and then you want to. Level 14, you have to fail as much as you can. Which actually, that could be an interesting mode for like a future one to go update. Instead of getting the most amount of points as possible, get the least amount of points as possible. Or die as fast as impossible. That would be a strange mode. At level 15. This is it. This is our final challenge. We have less health, but more blah 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 blah. Okay. And then we get to the endings. Okay, there's 3 endings. You know what? We'll read these endings after we read Endless Mode, because Endless Mode exists in the true game. I'm pretty sure you would have unlocked Endless Mode after you completed the 5 stages, which doesn't seem worth it. I feel like, you know what? That's another thing. I feel like if this game had 15 levels, no one would have the courage to go on for this long, because each level is about, I don't know, 2 minutes. Who wants to spend half an hour just getting fish in a sea? Eh, which is why I kind of added like a timed edition in the game, because you can survive for a really really long time in endless. But if you just want to play and move on, you can get like less than 5 minutes, and that's pretty good. With endless, I think you can survive for like, I don't know. You could possibly survive for like, I don't know, maybe like 20 minutes. The first time I played endless mode was with my friend Jeremiah, and he actually got the world record. I'm not sure if anyone has beaten the world record for endless, but you know. Anyway, I just spent so much time ranting about endless mode that I didn't even read endless mode. You know, it doesn't even matter. Oh yeah, I'm pretty sure the game would have gotten more intense as time went on, but I didn't add that. Anyway, time we get to the endings. Scratch Cat finally jumps for the exit. Well, 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 that was surely an exhilarating but stressful adventure, and it only lasted about half an hour as well. Right, because when I play a game about eating fish, I want to play for half an hour. I know you're about to say, but won't Scratch School have more than half-hour gameplay? Yeah, probably. But the thing is, it's but the thing is, the gameplay is variety. I mean, varied, and it changes quickly. And there's a lot more stuff, and you have to solve puzzles. It changes style so quickly, and it's interesting. It's not just repetitive. What am I even saying anymore? Anyway, however, you egg. That is the stupidest name ever. Egg. Worms attacking me, eating enough fish to destroy an ecosystem. Why did you put me up to this task? I wanted to tell you earlier, but you were so reluctant. Reluctant. Reluctant? Well, excuse me, I was kidnapped from my room. Right, sorry. There's a lot of reasons I sent you here with Scratch Cat. It was actually quite important, and I hope it absorbed into your mind. Oh, wait, he was supposed to be talking slowly? Okay. Right, sorry. There's a lot of reasons I sent you here, Scratch Cat. It was actually quite important, and I hope it absorbed into your mind. Why are you speaking? Why are you talking so slowly? Oh, excuse me, I'm talking fastly. Is that a word? Fastly? Yeah, okay. I'm sorry, Scratch Cat. Well, how do I even know how to trust you? You sent me into some mysterious purple sea for no reason, giving me challenges along the way. God, please hear me out. I know what I did was intense, but I need you to trust me for a second. Can you? Scratch Cat thinking. You have the final choice here. The answer you choose here will impact the conclusion of the game. One is quite bad, one is meh, and one is the best. Choose wisely. So, if you say no and you don't trust him, and you scorn him, it leads to the bad ending, which I don't know what the bad ending was. Maybe he just gets really mad and like jails you or puts you in the violet sea forever. In that case, I don't think that would be a very likable antagonist. Not that antagonists are supposed to be likable. Are antagonists supposed to be likable? I guess in some cases, at least sympathetic. If you say yes and hear him out, it leads to a good ending, which I guess where Scratch Cat learns to embrace nostalgia. And the last thing is the meh ending, where you just say, I'm out of here, you abandon him, you escape with your life, good idea, and you continue living your average life. Honestly, I think this is a good ending because in this ending, you might have trusted a serial killer. Who would have known? But yeah, that is the convoluted original plot of One to Go. How long are we going to be going on now? 15 minutes. Okay. I actually don't think I'm gonna have enough time to do the game in both these videos. So you know what? I'm gonna make the second part of this video the one where I actually play the game and talk about what went on during the development. For now, I'm just gonna go to this. This is like the prequel. So anyway, let's go into the original One to Go and see some other scrapped content that didn't make it into the final cut, and I'm glad it didn't make it into the final cut. Oh look, it's the original cutscene. Whoa, 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 whoa. Press space to advance. At least I was good at animaticking. And he crashes and breaks his legs. Hello there. I've been expecting you. Scratchius Catagus. Uh-huh. And that it started as soon as it ended. But anyway, okay. We're almost done. Oh yeah, here let me just mention one thing. This is the original room. This is the this is the for some reason it wasn't working. The zoom in button. This is the original room. And this original room appears in the beginning of the game. There we go. For some reason it's lagging today. As you can see, it actually was a bit updated during yeah. I made this I think in 2022, but I generally made the what's it called? The windowsill? No, the curtain more polished, and the user log actually makes sense, and the shading's actually the same. The outlines are thicker, it just goes to show my evolution. But anyway, now let's go to the instructions. So here's the hookworm, and here are the other fish that we were talking about. It's the Wait a minute, were we talking about them? Hold on, I need to go back. Maybe I skimmed over something because I was going over this so fast. Which, in my defense, it really is a lot of just useless information. Okay, yeah. See, all right, we came up with the idea to reduce hookworms into violet sea. Yeah, they were predated to the speedfish. The speedfish then overpopulated, and then they brought one last fish, which was the scalar fish. No, it's not called the X fish. Okay, yeah, the X fish. This looks a bit more crude compared to the final edition. Yeah, these are the original. Yeah, and most of these actually survived the development. Hookworm, hook, clock, potion, and even the X fish. But the slow mo chaser, da. Okay, and I think there's tips. Okay, remember that even salt can look like sugar. Be wary of some of the fish that slow you down or speed you up. I'm just doing the tips that weren't in the original. The latter levels will probably not be possible at all. Wait a minute. The latter levels will probably not possible. Wow, I really need to proofread more. Probably not be possible at all if you don't have enough time. So grab every time bonus. As the game progresses, you're given more challenges, so be prepared for the worst case scenario. This advice is in the original game. I mean the new game. And that's pretty much it for the instructions. And there's one last thing: the original achievements. Okay, so here are the achievements that you would have gotten if this game actually had levels. Okay. I gotta sing this in I think DJ Khaled voice. Okay, I am the one for you. Beat the game and get the good ending. One, 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 two, flee. Beat the game. Meh ending. Hole in one. Beat the game. Bad ending. I actually kind of like these puns. I'm the one for you. Hole in one. One to go. I mean, one to flee. If I were to ever make a sequel of One to Go, which I'm not gonna because making this game was already pretty convoluted in itself, it will probably be called One to Go. When I say two, I don't mean two as in the preposition. I mean two as in the number, because Learn to Fly did that as well. Okay, just 1 sec, mom. Beat a level in the last 5 seconds. Okay, that's interesting. I am number one. Beat every achievement. Winner dinner. Get at least something points in one level. Okay. Collectathon. Grab a total of 100 green fish. Be negative. Grab a total of 100 red fish. Can't touch this. Survive a level besides level 1 without touching a single red fish. Score! And earn a total of 1 million points throughout the whole game. Why are there a lot of missing words? Carpal tunnel. Play endless mode at least 5 times. And there we go. These were the original achievements that would have been in the game had I really made it that type of game. Which, even though it might, who knows, maybe it could have been interesting if I did make it a type of game with levels. But I'm kind of glad I didn't because, first of all, it would have gone the Scratch School route where, if you don't know what I mean, Scratch School, it's not canceled, by the way, but it is in it is in a bit of a weird state right now. I don't want to get into it too much, but yeah, I feel like this game would have gone that route if I forced myself to make a story with it. But you know what? I didn't force myself to do a story with it, and I ended up with this game, which is just as good. And you know what? It got a pretty good. It's actually my. Not only was it my first project of 2025, it's my most popular project of 2025 so far, which I'm grateful for. You guys really helped me and supported this game, and I love that. Even had Auto, which I'm just so I can't. I'm just so glad of myself and how all my fans actually saw it. Ironically, this project actually has more views, but the good thing is that this one it has more, loves and like switchments that you guys love it more or something like that. So yeah, that's basically the original production of One to Go. I think in part two we're gonna go into the actual game and playing it and stuff that went on during the coding. It's gonna be kind of convoluted, but it's also hopefully gonna be shorter than this one. So yeah, thank you for watching, and I'll see you later or something. Hasta Diego. I mean, Asa Drago.